Assalamu alaikum dear students, welcome back to my channel. So in today's lecture we are going to prove that if you have any positive integer which is not a perfect square, then square root n is an irrational number. Okay, this is what we need to prove. First of all, I would like to explain the terms that are written here. I'm talking about this term, perfect square. So what are perfect squares? Perfect squares, I have written this for you here. Integers which are square of other integers. Okay, perfect squares are actually those integers which are square of the other integers. For example, if you look at this 4, it's an integer and it is the square of another integer which is 2. Okay, so such numbers are known as perfect squares. Okay, so to prove this statement we are going to consider two cases. Why? Because every positive integer can be divided into those two cases. Okay, so what are those two cases? If you look at the integers closely, you will see following pattern. Okay, either your integer is of the form, for example 12, or it will be of the form 6. Okay, why I have written these two integers over here? Let me factorize these two integers. If you factorize 12, you will have 2 square cross 3, and if you will factorize the number 6, you will have 2 cross 3. So what is the difference here? If you look at the number positive integer 12, it contains a square factors, while the number 6 does not contain any square factor. So every positive integer can be from one of these two classes. Either it will contain a square factor or it will not contain a square factor. Okay, so first of all we are going to prove this statement for those positive integers which does not contain any square factor greater than 1. Why am I saying that it does not contain any square factor greater than 1? Because 1 is always there, you can write it. Okay, so we are not including the case where we have 1. Okay, so first of all we will consider the case where we will have positive integers which does not contain any square factor greater than 1. So let me write it over here. Case 1, n does not contain any square factor greater than 1. Okay, and we are going to adopt the method of contradiction. Okay, we will suppose what we need to prove here. If you look at this statement, we need to prove that square root n is an irrational number, but we are going to suppose on contrary that square root n is rational. Okay, so let's suppose that square root n belongs to set of rationals. We need to prove that this is an irrational number, but we are supposing that it is a rational number. Okay, so if you are saying that this square root n is a rational number, then it can be written in the form p by q. So we write square root n is equal to p over q, where there are certain conditions on these two integers p and q. Okay, and what are those conditions? P and q are integers, q should be non-zero, and another condition that I am implying here is that p over q is in its lowest form, or you can say p and q, these two integers are relatively prime to each other, or you can say these two integers are co-prime. Now let's explain the term relatively prime or co-prime first. Okay, I have written this for you here. Relatively prime or co-prime integers are such integers whose GCD or HCF is 1, meaning that they have no common factor greater than 1. So here we are supposing that p and q have no common factor greater than 1, or you can say that there is nothing left for to be cancelled over p and q. Okay, so starting over manipulation steps from over here, squaring both sides, we will have n is equal to p square over q square, or you can write p square is equal to nq square, and I am labeling this equation as equation number 1, because I need to use this. Okay, and from over here you can write q square is equal to p square over n. It's a simple algebraic manipulation step. And what does it show us? It shows that p square is being divided by n, or you can say n divides p square. Okay, from here we conclude that n divides p square. And it's a very common fact that if a number divides a square of another number, then it must divide the number itself. So from here we have n divides p. And what does that mean? It means that n is a factor of p. Okay, keep this in your mind because we are going to use this. Okay, so if you are saying that n divides p, so by Euclidean algorithm you can say then there exists an integer c such that c is equal to p over n. Okay, and from this equation we can write p is equal to nc. Okay, and then we are going to put the value of p in this equation. Okay, that is why I have labeled it. We are going to put the value of p in equation number 1. Okay, so what will we have? We will have, this will imply n square c square is equal to n q square. Let me repeat what we have done. We have put the value of p here in this equation, and since we were having square of p, that is why here we have n square c square, and then cancelling n square and 1 n from here, we will have n c square is equal to q square, and from this equation we have c square is equal to q square over n. Okay, and what does it show? It shows that q square is being divided by n. So I can simply write it like this: n divides q square. Again, using the same fact we have stated over here, that if a number divides square of another number, then it must divide the number itself. So from here we conclude that this n divides q as well. And what does that mean? It means that this n is a factor of q. But if you recall, we have supposed that p and q, they are relatively prime to each other, or they are co-prime, or you can say p over q is in its lowest form, or you can say that p and q have no common factor. But here we are having a common factor, which is factor of both p and q. And what is that number? N. N is being shown here as a factor of p as well as a factor of q. So this is a contradiction, finally, which helps us to understand, to conclude that this supposition over here, this supposition was actually wrong, and finally we conclude that square root n belongs to set of irrational numbers. Okay, so students, now we are going to consider the second case where we will have a positive integer n which contains a square factor greater than 1. Okay, so this number will be of the form, for example, we suppose that n is equal to k square m, where m does not contain any square factor greater than 1. You might be wondering why I mentioned it. I have mentioned this because it's going to play a key role in proving that square root n is irrational in this case. Okay, why? How will it play the role? Let me tell you here. M is an integer which does not contain any square factor greater than 1, and we have proved in case 1 that if we take square root of such integers which are non-perfect squares and which does not contain any square factor greater than 1 is an irrational number. Okay, so we know that if we face square root of this m anywhere in this proof, it will be regarded as an irrational number. Okay, so now we take square root of n, and if we are taking square root of n, we have to take the square root of this side as well. Okay, so what do we have? We have square root n is equal to k times square root m. Okay, where this k is just any integer. Okay, and square root m is a number which is an irrational number. We have proved this in our case 1. Okay, so finally what do we have? We have a number which is rational, and here we have a number which is an irrational number, and we already know that in our second video of this playlist we have proved that the product of rational and irrational is an irrational number. Okay, so if you are saying that this k is a rational number, and this is what we have proved in our case 1, that this is an irrational number, so the product of this irrational number and this rational number, what will it give you? Of course its answer will be in the set of irrational number, and this is what we need to prove. Finally we have successfully proved that square root n belongs to set of irrational number in case when n contains a square factor greater than 1. So finally we can conclude from here that for any positive integer which is not a perfect square, its square root is an irrational number. Okay, so this completes our proof. Thank you so much for watching the complete video, dear students. Like, comment and share this video. Give us your feedbacks in the comment section, and it's a proven fact that generosity makes you a happy person. So be generous and be a happy man. Subscribe my channel, hit the bell icon so that you don't miss any update. Thank you so much.